What's up? So I'm out here with Jack today, and we're basically going over how to modernize your old car. So I have a 2003 white GS300 Lexus, and this Lexus has been with my family or whatever for like about 20 years now, and it's still going strong. But the one thing that it does not have is the actual, the car stereo and things like that. It has none of that. What I have done is I've added different components of new cars. It sounds more complicated than it is, but I use like a Spotify car thing. And in total, this probably cost me about $200 to $300, but it's pick and choose. So if you want to get your price down lower or just buy it at different times, then it'll be okay.
I didn't do it.
So I kind of introduced this at the beginning of this video. I have a 2001 Lexus. That means that this car is 20 years old. It has no like backup camera or like Bluetooth functionality. I had to rely on these for the first few months, which are like cassettes and CDs. They work pretty well in this car. They're not really up to date, you know what I mean? It feels kind of like an older car. I wanted to give it that new feel, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you as well want to give it that new feel. This car doesn't even have an aux cord. I've tried out things like these cassette aux cord things, but they don't work very well, and like they don't skip properly, so this really wasn't the play. They also have a Bluetooth version of this, which you have to charge, so that also didn't work out that well. What I did find to work though is the Bluetooth converters. So this is the one that I got, but there's a ton of them on Amazon. So these actually take whatever Bluetooth signal you input them and then turn them into a radio station. Then you tune into that radio station from your car. So you can actually get like a group of your friends to go and listen to the radio station at the same time that you are. This also has 2 USB ports on it as well, which means that you can plug in your phone and some of the later devices I'm going to talk about later in this video. For this one, I paid around $20 for it. So they're not going to run you like super expensive. They're about the same price as the Bluetooth cassette ones, but they work like 10 times better. The only issue that I have with them is when you're traveling like far distances and stuff like that, you're going to get a little bit of crackling because it changes what the station is. So like if there's station interference coming in from somewhere else, it's going to crackle and like switch in between your station and the other one. But you can actually switch the station that you're listening to on this thing, so you could just switch it to output to a different frequency and then tune into your radio for that frequency, and then that should go away. The next thing I have is the Spotify car thing. So this thing is actually like a little it kind of reminds me of CarPlay, but it doesn't have like any messaging features or anything like that, but it is super good. I think it's worth it for the money. It's gonna run you about $75. I ended up getting it for free because I beta tested the device for them, but I have another video where I go more into detail on this product. So if you want to check that out, wait till the end of the video and there'll be those little card things that'll show you. Cool thing is that this thing has like 4 different playlist queue things that you can do at the top. So you just hold on the top and it'll set the playlist that you're listening to, and it'll set a little hotkey for that, so you can click it every time. You can ask it to play certain songs, or you can ask it to add stuff to playlists and things like that. So it's super nice for those kind of features. And even if you have Apple Music, this does actually work with other music softwares. Like Apple Music will work on this, so will SoundCloud and stuff like that. The only issue with that is that you can't like ask it to play certain songs, and you can only skip play and pause. That's all the features that you get for that, and you can turn up and down the volume. The next thing that I did to bring my car into like modern times is these blind spot mirrors. So these are actually, you can get these on a lot of modern cars too, because I don't think a lot of cars have these, but these blind spot mirrors actually provide, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. They provide a mirror so you can see into your blind spot and see if any cars are on your blind spot or anything like that. So they're super helpful. I don't have to end up looking over my shoulder anymore. I can just like turn to the side and look over at the blind spot mirror. I'll show you if there's a car there, and they're just stick on, so you don't need to have any like setup process involved or anything like that. And lastly is a backup camera system. So I don't have one of these, but I do know which one I would buy if I did want one of these. I don't really have a need for it, but a lot of people with more modern cars, they have these backup cameras and they have like a reliance on them. And so I feel like it would be necessary if you do have that reliance on them, or like your first car, you started out with that backup camera. So you can actually get one that puts it over your what is it called, like visor mirror, whatever this thing is, but it'll put it over that, and then it'll have a screen on top of it. I'll show some screenshots of it too as well. And when you back up, it shows you what's going on behind you, so that way you don't back up into anybody or anything. And what's really kind of a downside for it for me is the batteries. So I know it does run off batteries, which means that you have to constantly look for batteries at the store. It's going to cost some money to keep up the process of it. I'm sure they'll save you from accidents. I mean, these blind spot mirrors have saved me from a few accidents too, just because when I look over my shoulders, sometimes they're like, I don't know, they're coming out of nowhere, you know what I mean? They like speed up, and you can see them in your little mirror. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like or a subscribe if you liked it that much. I'm gonna start posting probably twice weekly about on this YouTube channel, so stay tuned for that. Adios.